What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. It's a holiday, or at least for some of us, it's a holiday, and hope everybody is having a great day. Yesterday, of course, being Father's Day, was great for me. Got to see the kids and everything else, having a little cookout and stuff. We had a ball. And now, of course, it's get back to work. This morning, I heard something that was interesting because here we are as Dallas Cowboy fans. We are always looking for the next guy. You know, we're always looking for players, left and right. We should sign this guy. We should get that guy. And the thing that I always say is a lot of the players, you think about what they've done when they were great. And see, there's a problem when you see the Dallas Cowboys. As Dallas Cowboys, you see us all the time. We are microanalyzed. You see all the highlights. They talk about our players left and right differently than they do other teams. Other teams have players that don't get talked about. We don't see them when they have bad plays or bad games because the Cowboys, let's face it, they're almost on every single primetime slot. They only have one 1 o'clock game this year. One 1 o'clock game. So they're either at 4 o'clock or they're at night. Just is. That's the case of being the Dallas Cowboys. So you see Zeke Elliott, start to slow down and not have that burst, whereas you don't necessarily see other players do stuff. And this is the curse of being a Dallas Cowboy player. Every play gets seen by everybody. And so the perception of a Dallas Cowboy player versus somebody who may be doing the same thing, you don't see. And so what you have seen and what's been ingrained in your head are those highlight plays or those big games that they've shown up. And so this morning, I heard about signing playoff Lenny to the Dallas Cowboys. Why the Cowboys should sign playoff Lenny, Leonard Fournette. And I kept thinking to myself, is this a joke? Leonard Fournette, last year, let's go through the numbers, okay? Leonard Fournette, who has been in the league since 2017 with the Jacksonville Jaguars, had 1,040 yards. Again, the next year was injured, ended up having 439. The next year had 1,152 for Jacksonville. Went to Tampa Bay. Now, here's his career in Tampa Bay. 367 yards, 812 yards, and 668 yards. 3.8 yards per carry in 2020, 4.5 in 21, and then 3.5 this past year. Only twice in his career has he averaged more than 4 yards a carry. That would be 2019 in Jacksonville Jaguar, clearly the high water mark where he had 1,152 yards, and in 2021. Other than that, he's always been in the 3 yard per carry. So, of course, people are saying, we should get that guy. Why? I don't even understand it. If you're talking about signing Leonard Fournette, you're better off bringing back Zeke Elliott. As bad as Zeke was last year, he still averaged 0.3 yards more a carry than Leonard Fournette. Playoff Lenny. You follow where I'm going here? Now, Zeke Elliott, I heard that, $5 million a year is what he's looking for. I'm sorry, but I don't see Zeke Elliott getting $5 million a year. If somebody has offered him $5 million a year right now, I think he would have already taken it. I don't think it's anywhere near $5 million a year, and nor should it be anywhere near $5 million a year for Leonard Fournette. You think about Miles Sanders signed a 4-year deal that was $24 million, I think it was. So that's only like $6 million a year. And Miles Sanders is still in his prime and still really, really productive. And even at that, that's a high watermark. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking about Tony Pollard. If we're talking about a long-term deal for him, I don't think that you can pay him more than Miles Sanders' contract. I mean, by all means, if you can get him for, a 3-year, $20 million deal, okay, and put some incentives in there and stuff because of his injuries. But the days of getting a lot of money for a running back are kind of over. But the guy who's really kind of overlooked, because here's the thing that's kind of funny to me, is you're paying $10 million to Tony Pollard. You draft Deuce Vaughn, who may be one of the most dynamic players in the draft. At least that's what some people are saying. And you get Ronald Jones. Now, again, Ronald Jones is not a name you know. You know, he's not a guy that like Leonard Fournette. You think about Leonard Fournette because of the trash talking that happened with him and the cheap shot he had with Micah Parsons. That's the main reason why you remember playoff Lenny, is because of the trash talking. But here's what's interesting to me as people talk about getting playoff Lenny. In the last 4 years, again, he's had 2 seasons of 4 yards or better, 4.5. Here it is. You've got Ronald Jones in the mix. And understand, a running back is really as good as his offensive line is, with the exception of Barry Sanders. In the last 4 years, Ronald Jones with the Buccaneers, so we can literally say with the Buccaneers, 2 of the years that Leonard Fournette was there, we can compare what happened with Ronald Jones because they were on the same team. So in 2020, right? 2020, you had Leonard Fournette, 3.8 yards a carry, 367 yards, right? That same year, 2020, Ronald Jones, 978 yards, 5.1 yards a carry. So you can say you had the same offensive line. Same offensive line. Playoff Lenny, 3.8 yards a carry. Ronald Jones, 5.1. You see where I'm going here? 2021, they were both on the same team. Okay? Leonard Fournette, 4.5, 812 yards. Right? 4.5. Ronald Jones, 4.2. Not much difference there. And then last year, you had playoff Lenny, 668 yards on 189 carries, 3.5 yards per carry. Ronald Jones only got 17 carries with the Chiefs because they are a very stocked team, but still averaged 4.1. In the last 4 years, that was his worst per carry, 4.1 yards a carry, which is 0.4 yards more than what Zeke got last year, and still over half a yard more than what Leonard Fournette had. So if you're talking about bringing in Leonard Fournette, and I think Ronald Jones is more brought in as an insurance policy to Tony Pollard, you don't need Leonard Fournette. That's a joke. Sorry, Leonard Fournette, to me, I think he's done. Now, if you're talking about bringing in a Dalvin Cook, or if you're talking about a Derrick Henry, those are clearly upgrades for what you have. But there's no way that you look at Leonard Fournette right now and say he's better than Ronald Jones. Just don't. So that's what I got to say about that. We'll have more to talk about this tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern. I hope you join us for our live stream where we'll get lively as always. And as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And hopefully, I'll see you soon. Peace.